Okay, so the only way you will ever need to teach symbolism, just like with theme, I teach this the metacognitive way, and this is the strategy that works really, really well. So the first rule of teaching symbolism is don't talk about symbolism. The first thing you want to have the students do is actually draw. So when we're done with the text, I ask the students to draw somewhere around like 8 to 10 for novels or 3 to 5 for short stories, objects that were important in the story. So, for example, in The Outsiders, we got Bob's rings, we have the blue Mustang, the hair, the fire, switchblade, that kind of thing. And so the kids go ahead and draw it. And usually I tell the kids if you want to make them colorful, you need to do that outside of class and make it all pretty. You'll notice I do label all of my drawings. That is to make it easier for me to grade when that blue Mustang might not be obviously a blue Mustang and the hair might not be obviously hair. So one thing the reason why you don't want to talk about symbolism first is kids have these pseudo concepts of what symbols are, and it actually will mess them up. So in order to prevent them from accidentally getting messed up, you don't want to say symbolism, because what I've noticed is when I said, oh, we're going to do symbolism, and I teach the symbolism stuff front loaded before, they start drawing on their papers things like hearts. And I'll go around and say, where was a heart in the story? There's no heart in the story. So it kind of just makes life easy. So once we have those objects done, the next day I come in and we discuss a lot of different definitions of what a symbol is. We end up coming up with some kind of definition that usually means it comes up something like something representing an idea, virtually a concrete thing that represents an abstract thing. So then I start showing like universal symbols. Oh, what's a four-leaf clover? Look, oh, this thing. Oh, it means love. What about, what do we normally associate with color symbolism too if we wanted to? Like black is death, and this is where I like to like blow their minds and do a little multiculturalism. White, hey, that means death too in many Eastern cultures. So anyway, we kind of talk about how that's one type of symbolism, but in a text we actually do it differently. So the thing about symbolism in the text is however the characters feel or react to the object is how they also feel or react towards the thing it represents. So I have the kids write down 3 sentences that are true of how the characters feel or react to the object. So the first one is Johnny is afraid of Bob's rings, Johnny is marked by Bob's rings, and Bob uses Bob's rings kind of in order to show status. So I like to pick something like this, like Bob's rings, where normally you'd think, oh, rings represent certain ideas. And so a lot of the times students will say something like, oh, the rings would represent wealth. Well, what you do is you sub out the word wealth. Johnny is afraid of wealth. No, Johnny's not afraid of wealth, so that's not it. Socias? Well, socias are a thing. They're not an idea. Violence? So we check it out. We say Johnny is afraid of violence, Johnny is marked by violence, and Bob uses violence to show power. So Bob's rings equals violence. And you can do it with all sorts of different things, and it really helps the kids understand how a symbol actually functions within a text. The thing that you want to do is have them write 3 sentences, because if they just write 1 sentence, it's so easy to accidentally pick the wrong thing. So greasers want blank, the socials have blank, and blank gives people status. And so the blue Mustang fills in the blank, but so does the idea of wealth. Greasers want wealth, socials have wealth, and wealth gives people status. Now, I do a little mini lesson on these the things like fire and lightning and mountains and those kind of things as universal symbols. So kind of symbols that transcend various cultures and times and tend to mean the same thing. So you want to make the children aware of this because it sometimes can help us shortcut symbolism really easily. So with these kinds of universal symbols, I like to give examples like what would sunshine be, and usually light is like kind of getting away darkness, usually like knowledge, or flowing river or mountain usually represents adversity. So going through that dialogue with, why do we use fire and the way that, you use fire in order to purify things. Like it's literally a purifier. Like if you were going to need to like do emergency surgery out in the wilderness, you could light the metal on fire, but also symbolically is the purification of Johnny. So it's really actually not too complex. The kids definitely should work as partners at the beginning. They can always finish it up by themselves at home, but the idea is be metacognitive. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel or head on over to my blog at guidingontheside.blogspot.com. Happy teaching!